My name is Arthur C. Philbrook. I'm from Webster City, and I served in the Second World War in the European theater. I joined the National Guard in September of 1940. I was serving with Company E, 133rd Infantry, 34th Division, the 5th Army. I'm extra proud of the 34th Division. We were some of the first Americans in combat down in Africa, and we were green troops against seasoned troops, and they took a beating down there, and still they molded together, and they chased Rommel out of Africa, and then it was up through Sicily and Italy, and they just got to be a wonderful bunch of people. To fight alongside your friends and to have their lives taken right beside of me. You wonder why it couldn't have been you. You just can't explain combat. It's unreal. You have human beings trying to kill each other. I thought all the time that I was fighting what it would be like to lose an arm or a leg or terribly wounded or even lose my life, but never, ever did I ever give the thought of being captured. We were captured on October 17th, 1944 at the Po River in northern Italy. We were first put into trucks and taken across the Po River, where we were interrogated some more, and then we were put on trains, boxcars, and set up through the Brenner Pass and what used to be Austria into Germany, to Moosburg, Germany, Stalag VII-A. We were on the boxcars for 3 days and 2 nights. We had very little food and water. We were packed in so tight that you could not lay down or sit down. The only rest you could get is if somebody spread his legs and you could sit down a while on that. And we got a little water of the snow off the top of the boxcars melt, and they would put a cup out through the barbed wire over the windows and catch that drippings. And we got a little bit of water that way, but that was a horrible trip. The biggest fear was we were wondering what they were going to do to us. If we would be tortured or where would we be taken, and we'd heard so much about finding lots of prisoners that had been slaughtered, and we thought about things like that, but we felt that in the group that we were, that possibly that would never happen. Yes, we in this compound, we had barracks in there. There was approximately 500 in the barracks, 250 in each end. And we had cold running water in between them. And of course we were in during the winter months, and taking a bath and shaving was quite an affair. But you were called out and you were counted. I suppose they wanted to make sure they had the same number every day. But when we were called out, sometimes in the middle of the night, and they had police dogs along with their guards, and they would come in and turn those dogs loose in the camp, and you got out of there pretty fast. So you hoped that they got the right count so you could get back in where it was halfway warm. In the morning, we got a piece of black bread they claimed was, and I believe it was made partially out of sawdust, and a cold boiled potato about the size of a hen egg. And we had a soup. It was kind of a barley soup, and that thing was just full of little mealy worms. And the guys at first would would push them off the side, and after so long a time, they didn't even look. They just ate what was in their dish. The majority of the Germans were good people, don't get me wrong, but they did not have the food and the modern things that we were used to give to us. Their own people didn't have that. No, there wasn't much outside of going out walking and visiting, and so many foreigners wanted to know what our country was like. We counted the days, and we discussed a lot what it would be like to get back home. And I didn't have a girlfriend, or I wasn't married, but there was a lot of fellows that were married, and some of them, before they were taken prisoner, had got Dear John letters. And to see the hurt, it got to you. But there's so many people were different. Some that bothered and some of them bad. We have a good friend that left with us from Webster City, and after we got back home, it was too much for him, and he took his own life. But it struck different people different ways. And I have to tell you, Hauptmann Wilhelm, he was a German captain, and he was a pretty nice fellow, but I was walking down through the bar one time, and had my head down, and I didn't see him, and I didn't salute him. Boy, he raked me over the coals. And then he says, "Now," he says, "you're going to see a change in the war." He says, "Warmonger Roosevelt is dead. You're going to see a big change." And that's the first news that I knew Roosevelt had died. The night before, we'd heard that the Americans were coming. So another guy and I, a friend from Webster City, we stayed up almost all night and we didn't hear anything. But the next morning, they started firing, and the first thing they did is take down the church steeple in the little town of Moosburg, because they used those high points for observation. And about 9:30, 10 or 10:30, where they came in, and the German guards all walked back to their office and stacked their rifles like the Americans do, and stood in formation as the Americans come in, and they marched them away. General George Patton's 14th Armored Division come in, and the 47th Tank Battalion of that division was the ones that liberated us. And that was quite a day. We stayed there 7 days after we were liberated. And of course, the forward units of the 14th Armored, they had no extra food to give us. And where they got it, I don't know, but for 7 days, all we had was rice. No cream, no sugar, plain old boiled rice. And that's what we survived on for those 7 days until they flew us out of camp. Well, we were liberated on the 29th day of April, and we stayed in camp 7 days, and then we were flown to Le Havre, France. Now, I'm trying to get the dates wrong, but I think that we were on the ship going home when the war was over. Now, it was over the 6th or the 8th of May. I forget when it was. But I know when we got back to New York, the war was over, because we got off the ship, people would just junked motels, hotels, pillows were thrown out the window, and mattresses, and you can't believe everything that that they did to celebrate with. And we were partially ignorant because we were on the ship and we didn't have much information. And all we wanted to do was to get home. I tried to call my parents from New York, and no answer. They said there's no phone. We got down to Camp Chaffee, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Called to call again, no answer. I couldn't figure what was going on. So I got back to Webster City and tried again, no answer. And they're walking up down the street with carrying my suitcase. Nobody beat me. So I finally figured I had an aunt in Webster City, so I got a hold of her, and my mother had left word at the telephone office if any of us called to shift it over there. Well, somebody dropped through the cracks, and so then she called, and the folks come over and got me. My wife knows that I don't like to leave any food on the table. I was hungry so long that I just that I enjoy eating, as you can see, but to stop and realize how men got by on that kind of those rations, it's just unbelievable. If people could know what a prisoner goes through to be put in a barbed wire enclosure for months at a time and try to keep your mind, was quite a thing. We want everybody to know that there's just no country like our country. The things that we have, the kind of life that we lead, this has got to be the greatest country in the universe. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And we grumble, we gripe about this and gripe about that, but if you stop back and look, we are very, very lucky people.